From the Warner Brothers studios, here she is now, Ellen DeGeneres.
Hey everybody! Today on my show, I have two great Canadian authors, and everyone knows how much I love Canada, eh? So let's give them a friendly welcome. Rudyard Griffith and John Ralston Saul. On today's show, Saul and Griffiths will be answering the question, who are we, in the context of defining Canadian identity? Let's begin with Mr. Griffiths' perspective of the Canadian identity.
Thank you, Ellen. A man once said that Canada is the greatest hotel on earth. It welcomes people from everywhere. And it's true, as a country, we value our multiculturalism. It is what makes Canada so great, but at the same time, it causes us to lose unity and lose a shared national vision. So, to answer the question, who are we? I believe that Canada does not have one national identity.
Interesting. And what's your perspective, Mr. Saul?
I disagree with Mr. Griffith, Ellen. It's not that Canada does not have an identity. Canada has simply gotten amnesia and forgotten that we are Métis. We are a Métis civilization, and how we live and how we govern is deeply Aboriginal. We are Aboriginal not in a legal sense. I just mean our identity and who we are is influenced by Aboriginals and not at all European.
Right, I see. Okay. What do you have to say about this, Mr. Griffiths?
I'm sorry, Mr. Saul, but I disagree. I don't think we are forgetting that we are a Métis civilization. I understand that we have been influenced by Aboriginals. But with immigration today, we have influences from around the world, and not just Aboriginal. And this again backs up my answer, that we don't have one national identity. With the high levels of immigration, people's knowledge on Canada's founding principle and history is decreasing. There is no one-size-fits-all national culture in Canada. Instead, individuals and groups are defining in their own terms what it means to be Canadian.
Now don't get me wrong, young man, I too agree that we are very multicultural. I just disagree with you when you say that we lack an identity, because we do have an identity, and it's an Aboriginal one. The great multiculturalism and diversity you speak of, Griffith, comes straight out of Aboriginal culture. Europeans had nothing to do with the idea of an inclusive circle. And because this Aboriginal concept is being applied in today's society, this shows that the identity of a Métis civilization lives on deep inside people.
That's very interesting.
Yes, Ellen, and at the moment we are in self-denial and can't embrace who we are. We are lost. Canadians are having trouble seeing how much of what they are is Aboriginal. Their values, their thoughts, it's all Aboriginally influenced.
Before we cut to commercials, do you have anything to say to Mr. Saul, Mr. Griffiths?
Well, I see where you are coming from, but I'm going to stick to my answer that Canada does not have a single identity. Proof of this lack of identity can be seen in the low numbers of civic involvement and social capital. Canadians are straying away from civic virtues and are focusing more and more on individual values. And this may be going off topic, but if Canada can't find a shared identity, then what we value most may no longer exist, and Canada may have a dark future in its path.
Wow, Griffith, you're definitely right about that one thing. You were off topic. Anyways, that's the end of our show. Everyone's going home with some free maple syrup. And like we do every show, dance like your identity depends on it. Goodbye, everybody.